ain't never had a friend like me.
I've become a family man and I live within a world of children and I want to make films that my family can see.
In October of 2016, he signed on with Disney Studios to create the live-action remake of the cartoon
Aladdin.
Yes!
Ritchie's desire to make a film that he could show to his children collided with a story that was close to his heart.
I get highly passionate about music and most of my films are heavily laced with music. And I started my career making music videos. So I felt somewhat confident about the genre, if you will.
My dad was a dancer, and his dad before him. So, finally it percolated through the old DNA.
Strangely, the most difficult phase of the picture's production was the casting. Filming was supposed to begin in June of 2017, but because the right actors for the leads had not yet been found, the schedule was bumped 4 months. For a long time, the main contenders for the role of Aladdin were Dev Patel and Riz Ahmed, but Guy's choice rested on a less famous actor named Mena Massoud, who till then had been popular only in Canada, thanks to the show Open Heart.
Are you kidding me right now? First time I saw it, actually, I just saw like an open casting call online and I called my agents and I was like, hey, I know this is a long shot, but I'm getting an audition for this, right? Oh. Yes. Yeah, sure. Shoot yourself on tape for it. Which, for any actor, whenever you have to shoot yourself on tape for something, it means it might never get seen.
Psst. Hey, you weren't easy to find. This place is bigger on the inside than out. Was that the princess who just left?
And then we didn't hear anything for like 4 months. So usually as an actor, if you don't hear back in like a month, it's kind of dead in the water. So I totally forgot about it. The first time my reps actually called me, to do another tape 4 months later, they were like, hey, remember that project you were really excited about? And I was like, no. Aladdin.
Yes!
From that point, things picked up, and I did another tape, flew to London twice to test for it. The first time I went to London to test, I spent a week there. I spent a week with the choreographer and the vocal team over there, prepping to test, which usually isn't the case. Usually you'll just fly in, you'll test the same day, you leave. Like, that's it. But for this, I was like there for a week to prep for the test.
I learned to sing and dance, juggle, ride camels, scuba dive, and do stunt work.
Yeah, and then I booked it.
See, it's that easy.
Jasmine's character was played by Naomi Scott, whose only other big project had been a remake of the sci-fi film Power Rangers.
I know. I don't know how it happened.
Jafar was played by Mawaan Kansari, who has an impressive filmography, including movies like The Mummy and Murder on the Orient Express.
Mawaan Kansari is an incredible actor. Yeah. I think anyone who looks at his filmography will be surprised with how many things he's in.
This is a surprise.
And he plays this the Guy Ritchie way, in that he's playing a con man.
I can make you rich. Rich enough to impress a princess, but nothing comes for free.
However, a big budget film can't exist without a real star. So Guy offered the role of the Genie to Will Smith.
When you get that call, hey, we're gonna redo Aladdin, Will, we want you to be a part of it. It's like, hey, Will, we're thinking of redoing The Godfather, we're thinking of you for the Al Pacino role.
How bad do you think it's gonna be? Pretty goddamn bad.
You don't want to go anywhere near those kinds of roles. It's like Robin didn't leave much room for improvement in the Genie.
But let's work with what we have.
Genie.
It's a joke. I do that.
Robin did arguably one of the greatest performances in animation history. So, I watched the movie a couple of times and I was like, ugh. I've been in these situations before where things have come up where you have roles where people have nostalgic, emotional connection to. And it wasn't until I started, instead of singing some of the stuff, I started rapping some of it. You got some power in your corner now, heavy ammunition in your camp. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting in to be able to maintain the nostalgia and it, being homage to the Robin Williams Genie, but also to add the new flavor.
I think a lot of my job was encouraging Will to be Will.
In 10,000 years, I've never been that embarrassed.
Will even gave up a role he had already accepted for it, which ironically was from another Disney project, the remake of Dumbo, where his place was taken by Colin Farrell.
You don't need to worry about him, he's fine.
Guy invited a few old friends to the reel as well. Irreplaceable since the Revolver era, editing director James Herbert, and production designer Gemma Jackson. Gemma once again astounded the imaginations of viewers. Agrabah was supposed to be set in Morocco, but Gemma convinced Ritchie to build the city from scratch, which resulted in a unique backdrop. In Wales, they were able to bring to life the spirit of the Middle East.
You're kidding, right?
The song Prince Ali proved to be the biggest challenge. It broke a few records and became the largest musical number in film history.
The Prince Ali sequence, I think, is one of the, when you look back on your careers, that's going to be one of the masterpieces. The parade, I think that was magnificent, how you designed it and put it together. And we would shoot the sequence, and there was 30 minutes to get the horses and the birds and monkeys, and then all of the 1,000 extras to go back.
I need the fastest reset you've ever done in your life, guys.
And just as a director, to make that kind of commitment that we're just going to keep going no matter what, I love that, and I think it shows in the work. Good work, man.
More than 200 professional dancers and 250 extras, 500 costumes, and a 9-meter camel, which took 3 weeks to make with 15 designers. Its creation required 37,000 flowers.
Wanted to show you guys Prince Ali's mode of transportation here. Check it out. This gentleman right here helps me get up there because I can't jump that high.
Camera operator John Matthiasen was replaced by Alan Stewart, for whom Aladdin became the first big-budget feature where he was in charge of the cinematography. Stewart had the privilege of shooting in amazing locations, from a city made just for the film to a desert in Jordan, which half a century earlier had been the place where Lawrence of Arabia was filmed.
Right behind me, all around me, is the beautiful Wadi Rum Desert in Jordan. Jordan's been such a beautiful country. It's been so giving and generous, and we're just all thrilled to be here.
Man, look at this world. It's so big.
The picture started filming on the 6th of September 2017 in a London suburb and lasted 4 months.
Guy took it to the next level. He knew exactly what he wanted. He brought his years of experience of creating stories about thieves. At one point, he just wanted one shot that looked like a GoPro shot. So they built this rig that I had to wear on my body, this like 30-pound vest. They attached one of their cameras to it, and then I had to do a part of the one jump sequence with it on me.
I steal only what I can't afford, and that's everything.
You know those factory arms that put cars together? Yeah. They got one of those, 2 of those actually, and on one of them they put a camera, and on the other one they put this carpet rig that had 32 different points of hydraulics. And on top of that, on both sides, they put these 2 big LED screens where they could like project something for you to kind of feel it. So they'd like have dolphins coming out of the water, or like during the Cave of Wonders sequence, like fire and lava. So you'd be like, so they did a fantastic job.
Thank you, carpet.
In May of 2019, Aladdin began its tour around the world's movie theaters. Its profits exceeded $700 million, which were more than the original cartoon. Though it's worth mentioning that 27 years ago would have been much harder to make so much money. Aladdin became the most profitable project of Guy's career, and after a string of failures, it was a very welcome victory. The movie was well received by critics, praising Will Smith's performance, which carried most of the film.
I look back at the last 30 years of my career, the thing that people walk up to me on the street the most for is the Fresh Prince, right? So if the Genie could knock that character out, it would be fantastic.
A lot of gray area in that wish, but
As for Ritchie, the reaction was mixed. Some thought he did a good job of getting out of a string of financial duds. Others were surprised that the director's signature moves were practically invisible.
He puts his own flavor to it and his own style, so I think people leave it. Like you, for example, you know Guy's films.
Yeah.
So I guarantee you when you leave the movie tonight, you'll be like, yeah, that was a Guy Ritchie film.
Oh, okay. But
still, no one can deny that it was a bullseye for the target audience. Aladdin is the perfect movie to watch with family. It makes you smile and even laugh out loud.
And I think because it is a family film, it gave off a sort of warm radiation to everyone that was involved in it. And I found that the cast and the crew also felt that. So it had a kind of good vibe from its inception to the end. Now, the great thing about making a family movie, which I'm not familiar with, is the warmth that radiates from such a positive and generous, spirited film. It's uncynical.
Yeah.
The film's not cynical and leaves you with a sort of very positive taste. And that's my greatest takeaway from it.
Well, yes, you are very wise.